Okay, taking fractions, breuke, and writing them as decimal numbers. Now, there's a very easy way to do this. I'm going to work with these I've given you at the bottom. So 0.36. Okay, so how many spaces does it have? You have to put this now in a fraction. So there's one, two spaces. Remember, we add then two zeros, which means that will come on 100. And then we have the numbers which we put on top. But you're not done because you need to give it to me in the most simplified form, the mees vereenvoudigste vorm. So that means you're going to go and just quickly do your prime numbers. Oh, that was by a skiff. Okay, I'm going to do the prime numbers quickly. Okay, so I did my prime numbers for both, and then obviously you just write it as your prime numbers, which is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And then at the bottom was 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. Then you eliminate. You can't eliminate those. So 3 times 3 gives you 9. And 5 times 5 gives you 25. And that all is the steps you need to do in order for you to give me the decimal as a fraction. So take your decimal, write it down, see how many spaces after the comma. Make sure you put those zeros down, which means it's 100. If there were three numbers, this would be 1,000. You put the number on top. Then you get your prime numbers, and then eliminate them, factorize them, and then you go to 9 out of 25, and that's how you do that one. So maybe take these numbers and just go practice with it. Then you also need to be able to put fractions to decimal numbers. So this is also easy, right? How many spaces there? But before you can actually do that, just give me a sec. Before you do that, you can work this out with a calculator and say 6 divided by 20. Wait. 6 divided by 25, and it's going to give you 0.24. Now let's see if we actually work this out without a calculator, what we're going to get. So we have 625, right? Okay, you need to change this because if they ask you for a method, you need to know how to do the method. You need to change this number either to 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, something with a 1 and zeros. And if you look at it, obviously you can see that you'll be able to change this into 100 by multiplying with 4. Remember what you do on top, bottom, you do on top as well. And 6 times 4 is 24. If now you take this 1, 2 spaces, which means 1, 2, 24 will just be there. So it works out the same. But this is a method that will give you marks if asked for to do it without a calculator. But you can then use your calculator, 6 divided by 25, and just check your answer. Okay. In the test, you'll be given some fraction sums. You need to go and memorize these if you don't already know it. So, for example, if you get a sum that just says like summa 6 from wait, let me just think of a sum quickly. Hold on. Right, if you have a sum like this, now do remember your goal is to get this simplified at the bottom. So read number 1. You may not work with mixed numbers. The first, change any mixed numbers. So jy moet enige gemengde getalle eerst verander. Now there's no mixed fractions, right? Because this is what a mixed fraction looks like. It's got a hole, but there's none of that, so we skip to step 2. Make sure the denominators are the same. Maak seker die noemers is dieselfde, the bottom. So firstly, I'll look at the sum and see, can I change these into an 8 because 8 is the biggest? So yes, I can. And what you do on the bottom, you do on top. So if I say 4 times 2, it becomes 8. If I say 2 times 4, it becomes 8. You can write it in 3 different fractions, or you can put down 8 as your new denominator and then put your 6 down, plus 2 times 2 is your 4, plus 1 times 4 is your 4. This makes it easier for you not to have too many fractions that maybe like get scattered around with what you need to do. So all you need to do now is put the top together. So 6 plus 4 then gives you 10, plus 4 gives you 14 above 8. Now you're not allowed to leave your fraction like that because this is an improper fraction. Onechte getal. So how many times can 8 go into 14? That's 1 time. Remember your denominator stays the same. Onder bly dieselfde. So it can go in there once, and then what's remaining is 6. Because 1 times 8 plus 6 will give me back to 14. Okay, but this is not the end. Remember, you need to go on at the bottom. I don't have space, so that's why I'm doing it here. You need to give me the fraction, the prime numbers for these, right? So the prime numbers, 1 is fine. We leave that as it is. Prime numbers for 2 is 2 goes into 6 3 times, 3 goes into 6 once. And then 2 goes into 8 4 times, 2 goes into 4 2 times, and 2 goes into 2 once. So eliminate, and then you have 3 above 4, and that is your simplified answer. So the next one I want to show you. Okay, so the next one I want to show you is this. So now you've got brackets involved. So you still follow BODMAS. Even if it's fractions, you still follow BODMAS. So brackets first. So this is oh goodness, what's the name? Mixed fractions. That is gemengde getalle. So you need to change it. And remember, 3 times 4 gives you 12. And then 13 above 4. And then 1 times 4 stays 4, plus 2 is 6. Now, in the case of this is already the same, so you don't need to change anything, but first solve the bracket. So 13 minus 6 will then give you 7 above 4, plus 2 above 3. Now we're back at a place where we need to go back a few steps, because now we're sitting with, again, a fraction sum. So the bottoms are not the same, but 3 cannot go to 4. So I will have to multiply it with each other. Because 3 times 4 or 4 times 3, either way, will give you an answer of 12. And then 7 times 3, 7, 14 is 21. Will give you 8. Then just do the sum, which is 29 above 12. And then you follow the steps as you did with the other one. 12 goes in 2 times. I hope I'm doing it because I'm going really fast with my video. Well, 24. So there's 5 left. And if you do the prime numbers, you'll see you won't be able to eliminate any of those. So this is the simplest form. So write sums like that, just change the numbers and then practice with that. All right, so there is 3 sums that you can actually practice, and once again you can send me the videos, ask any questions.